What's the difference between the Hooga HG and the Hooga HG Pro range? And is it worth forking out a little bit extra cash for the Pro line? Let's find out. Oh, and be sure to hang around because later on in this video, I'm going to share another way how you can save even more on these exceptionally well-priced panels. Okay, so on the bench here, I have two Hooga Health 300s, the basic line and the Pro line. Now, this video isn't necessarily just about these two panels. Hooga do an assortment of red light therapy panels across different sizes. So if you head over to the Hooga website, and I'll put links below, you'll be able to see, for instance, the HG750, and then you'll see that they've also got a Pro 750. Now, since I have both of these 300s here, I've got them on display and we're going to use them as examples. But before we go through the differences, let's have a look at what is the same. Well, when it comes to the 300, they both have the same amount of LEDs. They also have the same warranty length, that is 3 years. And they also both have really low EMF levels, which is great. Finally, they both put out the same wavelengths. That's 660 and 850 nanometer light. Okay, so now for the differences. The biggest difference of all is the inclusion of a stand in the Pro model. The basic model over here has no stand and there is no option to put a stand on. You can't just save some money, buy the cheaper version now, and then later on decide you want to add a stand to it because it's physically not possible with the basic line. You can, however, hang both of these panels from a door or a wall hook. Both of the panels do come with hanging kits. However, have a think about how you intend to use this panel. If you're going to use it as a tabletop panel, like I have here, then that stand is going to be quite valuable. Of course, you could rest the basic model just on the desk like I've done here, but a stand is going to be much nicer. Next up, we have the switches. The Pro has the switches and the power plug on the side. The basic line, the switches and the plug are on the top. Not a big difference. I personally prefer the switches and plug on the side. And one little issue with the basic line though, is the cable kind of gets in the way of the switch, which is a little bit annoying. Next, we have a difference in the LEDs. The Pro has dual chip LEDs, the basic line, single chip LEDs. What does that mean? You're going to get better light coverage with the Pro line. You're also going to get a little bit more power coming out of the Pro line, which is going to mean shorter treatment times. Okay, what about the design? Well, there is obviously a bit of a difference here as well. First up, you'll see that the face of the Pro is all metallic with the LEDs built in. I think it gives it quite a sleek look, especially when, of course, the panel's not running. The basic line over here, you get that white, more exposed. You can see some of the circuitry in there. It's a older style look, and I mean, some people may not mind it. Of course, when they're running, you don't notice that white as much. Also, the Pro does have some rubber feet on it, so if you do decide to take this off the stand, it's going to be better for resting on hard surfaces. The basic line doesn't have that, so there is a risk you're going to scratch up a desktop if you're using it on the desk. Finally, we have the fans. The Hooga Pro has more smaller fans. The Hooga basic line is larger but less fans. What does this mean? Well, it means the Pro is actually a quieter panel to run. The Hooga basic is a lot louder and it also puts out more of a gruntier sound. I definitely prefer the Pro here. Next up, we have modular capability. This is something that is possible with the Pro, not possible with the basic. What does that mean? Well, if you decide to get another one of these later on, or let's say you get a really large one like the 1500 and then you get a smaller one and you want to clip it underneath to get a larger treatment area, that's all possible with the Pro. It's not possible with the basic one. The Pro has a built-in daisy chain plug, so you can link more of them up. And like I said, you can literally hook them together so they become all in one, I guess. The basic line, if you want to do that, you're literally going to have multiple power cords and somehow support them or hang them in a way that they all are close together, I guess. Next, we have flicker. The Pro line is flicker free. Basic line, there is some flicker in those LEDs. So if you're worried about flicker, go with the Pro. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. It helps me identify what content I should keep putting out. And speaking of more content, be sure to subscribe as well. You will see a lot more red light therapy content, including reviews, comparisons, educational pieces, and interviews. Okay, and finally, we have maybe the most important difference, and of course that is price. As we've seen already, you're getting a lot more features, you're getting a lot more nicer elements with the Pro line, so you're gonna have to pay more for that. And there is quite a bit of a difference. Now remember, the Hooga red light therapy panels are one of the best valued panels on the market. And I did say at the start of the video there's a way to bring the price down even further, and that is by using discount code ALEX, ALEX. It will save you 5% on any of the Hooga products, so be sure to enter that in your checkout process. But going back to the price differences, here I have two 300s, the basic and the pro. The pro retails for $269 US. The basic model over here, $159. So effectively you're paying $110 for a little bit more power, no flicker, dual chip LEDs, a built-in included stand, modular capability, a nicer design, and less sound. If you don't value all those things, then of course save the money and get the basic model. When we look at the larger panels, the 1500, you can get the Pro for $1,200 US. Again, be sure to use discount code ALEX to save even more on that. Or you can get the basic one for $890. So that's a big price point difference, but yeah, it really depends on if you value those nicer features. Personally, unless you're super tight on cash, I think you are better off spending that money because you will appreciate those nicer things. This is coming from someone who has used dozens, maybe hundreds of red light therapy panels over the years, and I've tested a lot of them as well. So yeah, take my word for it. If you have the money there, get the Pro line. If you're super cash strapped and just want to get some red light therapy device, then sure, these are still going to work great. You just may not have the nice little elements, that's all. Now, if you are shopping for a red light therapy panel and you are on a budget, be sure to check out this video. This is a video where I compare 10 red light therapy tabletop panels, including the Hooga Pro 300, and I try to determine which one is the best for those on a budget.